Hello, it's Morgan Studios, and today we're talking about freestyle chess. I'm going to break this up into 6 parts. Part one is how do the pieces move: knight, king, pawn, all the pieces. You can also say pawns or pieces. Pawns are like the smaller pieces that are quote unquote expendable, right? Your pieces, sometimes people call the pieces the king, the rook, the things with kind of faces, right? Part two will be capture, check, checkmate. So once you know how the pieces move, you need to know, okay, how do I capture my other opponent's pieces? Because that's what happens. It's almost like checkers. If you played checkers before, you jump over the piece in checkers. But in chess, you just occupy that square of the opponent, right? So if it's a knight on f4, you just put one of your pieces on f4, and that's how you capture your other opponent's piece. Now, the way you win the game, checkmate. You have to capture the king, but you capture the king in a special way. What I say is fence him in and then attack. He has to be fenced in where he can't move or he can't fight his way out. He can't capture your piece. And then on the next move, you capture the king. So it has to be fenced in and you have to capture. So fence and capture. That's how I think about it. Defend. The way to keep your pieces from getting taken is you defend your pieces. You put supporting pieces around your pieces. Like if you have a pawn, you put the knight or the horse uh kind of attacking your own pieces, I guess. That's one way you can kind of see it. Part four, checkmate patterns. After you know the basic kind of thing of checkmate, you just fence them in and then attack. There's tried and true patterns that people have come across again and again because chess is a very old game, probably Bible days. It's ancient. It's an old game, but I think they say the modern version of it is like 1600s, 1700s. Don't quote me on that. Opening strategy. So after you know the basics of how the pieces move, how you take your opponent's pieces, how to protect your pieces, how to checkmate, it's like, okay, you have to set up the board to get these different little uh, checks and traps and zaps. Bruce Pandolfini's book. So you need opening to do that. You need strategy. When you don't have anything to do, you rely on strategy, right? You can't see immediately how you can attack, take that pawn or that queen. So you say, okay, let me follow this little rule, you know, and try to create something from that. And then last, okay, once you have your openings, your strategy, your tactics, you know how the pieces move, checkmate patterns, you know the basic concept of how to defend a part or a piece. I'm just engineering a piece on the board. You just have to play, putting it all together. Because you get the little pieces, you practice the little pieces, the little parts of the puzzle. And then what you do is you have to play it. So that involves kind of looking at games, studying games, not like Grandmaster games. If you're just starting, you need to just maybe work on openings and play the computer on easy. Don't put the computer on difficult, but you'll see. Get a computer, uh, play against the computer, put it on easy or moderate. Because sometimes I remember one time I put it on easy, and at the end, it was just a king and a king. We were just kind of just moving around the board ad infinitum. I was like, okay, I'm not learning anything. So maybe sometimes, just depending on who you are, where your level is, tick it to moderate or easy or moderate, depending on what you are. And if you're a grandmaster, you're probably not even looking at this anyway. So that's a whole nother level. This is just freestyle chess. You just want to play with your buddies and maybe not win a game, you know what I mean, without having to study, hundreds of hours trying to be a grandmaster. You just want to just play and just enjoy the game. All right. That's all I have. Next time we'll talk about how the pieces move on Morgan Studio.